Well, hello everybody. Thank you for joining and welcome back if you were here before. A little bit different video this time. Me driving. I tried this yesterday. Might include some of the content from yesterday because I thought some of it was pretty good. But kind of reminds me of talking on ham radio while I'm driving. Don't get distracted, but definitely have to focus on driving, or mentally focus. But I thought I'd record a video on my way home from the Apple store. But anyways, I got asked a lot of questions, or have been getting asked questions about what it's like to be a YouTuber. And I think it's kind of funny to ask me that because this will be my sixth video, maybe fifth or sixth. Not sure. It seems weird to call myself a YouTuber. But whatever, I'll answer the questions. The first question that I want to answer is if there's anything that I regret, or no, that isn't the way the question got asked. By the way, Kristen, if you're watching, thanks for the question and thanks for the prayer as well. I really appreciate it. Talked to her in church. But she asked me what is the one thing that I don't like about recording YouTube or being on YouTube. And it's funny, I had to stop and think, what is it I don't like about it? And the one thing, and only one thing I could think of, and it's not even I don't like about it, I like it, but at the same time, it's caused me a bit of pause. And that's actually, I committed to 2 videos a week, every midweek, usually Wednesdays, and then Saturday mornings. And our brother was the first one to say it, and then I've heard it, maybe my wife was, but both my brother and my wife said it real early, you're crazy. And yeah, I probably should have actually did 1 video a week, or committed to some cadence, and then increased it once I saw how much work it is. Because the amount of work it is actually greater now because everything's so new, editing, recording. But that being on that cadence actually is not a bad thing. I think it's actually it doesn't feel like a job, because I know if I don't feel like doing it, I just won't do it. But I do know if I want to get subscribers or get noticed by YouTube, which again, I'm not trying to get rich. I don't really care about that, but it is almost like a little bit of a game, right? It's can I get subscribers? Can I create content compelling enough where people want to watch me record? I guess they don't watch me record, they just watch what I recorded. Whatever, you get what I mean. And I'm finding actually that's kind of fun. Now, whether or not this is the learning part of this is me exercising the learning muscle and not developing a new hobby. Sort of a pattern there I think you see me talking about, right? Is am I exercising the learning hobby, or am I actually learning a new hobby? I know that, I guess if it turns into a hobby, then it was both. But I am enjoying it, and obviously it's costing me some money and definitely a lot of time. But the time I'm not complaining about because, again, I'm exercising my learning hobby, or I'm actually exercising. I'm not sure what to call it. I'm doing my hobby of learning. So that would be the only the only thing I could answer on that is it's sort of a double-edged sword. And speaking of this week and having a content calendar, is I may or may not have a video on Saturday. Like I said, I'm going on a trip, going to Oshkosh for 2 days, and I'm hoping to film some content there. And if I do a good enough job of filming it where editing isn't something that's going to take like a month of my time, well, not a month, but you know what I mean. If I can pretty much not publish exactly what I'm doing, because I'm going to do some B-roll and maybe some voiceover, and I'm trying to learn how to do better video taking, especially of stuff like that, just because I think it's fun and I want to be able to create videos of that. like that, more cinematic. That's a hard word to say if you're not reading it. When we go out west, we're going to go to the International Rally and then go to Glacier, Grand Tetons, Yellowstone, Black Hills. And I'd love to be able to take you guys along for the ride on that. Do my keep your daydream type of video. But what's it like to learn to record? This part, for whatever reason, I don't have a problem with. I think I've never really had a problem talking in front of people, especially if it's a topic I know a lot about. Since I'm talking about me and all the junk I'm doing, experience I'm having, pretty easy to talk about. But then I saw something on our Reddit recently. They say, pretend like you're FaceTiming your best friend, and they're behind the camera, or and just don't worry about it, just do that. And I thought, that's kind of what I'm doing. That last video, I don't know if you could tell, my grandson was sitting right behind the camera, and it took me probably 3 times as long to record it, bless his heart, because at first he was going like this in the camera. I go, grandson. I'm not sure I'm ever going to say his name, but maybe I will. But anyways, I'm not sure how I feel about exposing children, that kind of thing. We'll see. So far, my daughter's against it, so am I. But anyways, I can talk about him. But bless his heart, he was giving me all kinds of positive feedback, and it ended up where I got to where there was no problem. Well, you'll notice the background's a bit different than what it was when I was in my truck. I had a problem. My GoPro overheated and shut off, and I have the beeps shut off, so I didn't know that, and I lost about 15 minutes of content. My best 15 minutes, I'm sure. Anyways, hopefully I can actually talk like I am, like I did when I was driving. I don't know, when I'm driving, it seems like I speak more fluently. I guess maybe it's just a stream of consciousness. Not quite sure how to describe it. And hopefully the wind's not too bad out here. I got my wind muff, or dead cat they like to call them. But I'm going to add in at least the section that got missed regarding YouTube, what it's like to be a YouTuber. And I said that learning how to edit was next. That's where it actually died, right there. Well, I guess you know that because you'll see me talk about it when I'm in the truck. But that's been an interesting experience. I, in my past, have learned Adobe Premiere. Adobe Premiere is a subscription product. It's a very comprehensive editing suite. Apple has another one called Final Cut, and there's one Avid. I imagine there's a whole bunch of them that I don't know about. But I learned Adobe Premiere while I was in Ireland working, and during COVID, and had a problem where I didn't have any need to edit it, or record anything. There was no purpose to my videos. I didn't have a purpose to, like YouTube, creating content for YouTube, and therefore you're recording, and now you get to exercise or have fun editing. And so I learned Adobe Premiere. I would go out and make content during COVID, walking around talking to myself kind of thing. Didn't think to YouTube. It was a thing, I'm sure, back then, but I know it was. But it wasn't a thing for me. I don't even think I was watching YouTube back then. But anyways, I learned Adobe Premiere and quickly forgot most of it. And then I picked it up again, creating videos like we record our Christmas stuff. We do a play every year and record those and try to edit those. And then my brother and I, when we go places, fishing and stuff, I try to record those. I'm not as good at either of those last two things as I used to be. But anyways, it's a perishable skill. I'm convinced of that, editing videos, at least with these complex software. You remember what you want to do, you just can't remember how to do it. And Claude and I were talking about this, my AI friend, as you guys all know. And Claude asked me, why don't I use the free software from DaVinci, or called DaVinci Resolve, from, I think it's Black Magic Studios or something like that. And so I looked into it. They have a paid version. It's not a subscription, which I like. It's a one-time purchase. But the free version does 99% of what you need to do, and the paid version gives you some AI features. Some pretty cool AI features, but I haven't actually subscribed yet. But DaVinci Resolve has been wonderful to use. And then I also have a Stream Deck. I've had that for quite a while as well. And what a Stream Deck is a device that has a bunch of buttons on it that you can create a profile in it. So when you're inside of a software application, the buttons can all change to be shortcuts. And as you can imagine, when you're editing videos, that comes in really handy for cutting and clipping and doing all the things you do when you edit. And what I'm finding now, though, is it has 15 buttons, and that's not nearly enough, and they're not really organized the way I want them. I should have said that I actually bought a profile. I guess they call them profiles. Stream Deck has like a little store online where people can create profiles, which is like a set of buttons that have little icons on them and the action behind them. And then they sell them through there. A lot of them they give them away as well. But as you can imagine, one that's fairly complex, like the one for Resolve, they sell them. That's, create a market for it, and people buy it. And actually, I've really enjoyed it. It speeded up my editing quite a bit. So that's pretty cool. I'm also having fun watching YouTube on how to do certain things. I've been watching a lot of YouTube videos over the years and kind of keeping track of how people go from scene to scene, or what sort of different effects they have. And so now I've been YouTubing different things like stingers, for instance. Never heard the term before, and now I have stingers in my video. And the stinger is that thing at the beginning of my Saturday videos, right after the hook, they call it, where my logo goes across the screen. You hear some music, and at the very end is again a stinger. That was kind of fun to learn. So I'm enjoying the learning process of editing. I mentioned the pressure to publish. One problem I've been having, that Claude has been almost a therapist on the topic, is I have too many topics I want to record on. I keep on thinking of more things to talk about. And I have a content calendar. Hopefully I didn't talk about all this already. But I have a content calendar that Claude helped me create, a 6-month content calendar that is every Saturday, and then also the midweek episodes. And the midweek episodes are supposed to be more low-key, like this. And the Saturday is a little more structured. And I keep on thinking of more things to talk about, and Claude's saying, well, you want to be on a regular pattern. And to me, I'm not, like I said many times over, I'm not doing this to create a job where I have a steady income and feed a family and that kind of thing. So I kind of just want to do what I want to do. But at the same time, like I mentioned earlier, there's a little bit of a gamification to this. I want to be good at it. And one of the ways of measuring whether or not you're good at it, in my opinion, is, are you getting subscribers and views? That's actually where everybody makes their money on YouTube. You guys probably already know that. But if you're not watching the videos, or if nobody's watching the videos, you're not making any money. Even if you have 1 million subscribers, but nobody watches your videos, it doesn't matter. YouTube only makes money trying to figure out how to capture travel videos. Like when we go out west on our trip, and like in Oshkosh, practice that. That's something I want to get really good at. So I've been watching some videos on how to be better at that. And I mentioned already, next Saturday might be, next weekend, there might not be a video. I don't know, we'll see. I'd like to make sure this video, it might be late if I do a video, almost certainly that. Another question I get asked already, believe it or not, is should I start a YouTube channel? Or I've thought about starting a YouTube channel, and I've told all those people that if you ever think about doing that, by all means, let's sit down, have a coffee or a Zoom call, I'll tell you my experiences thus far, and obviously you can watch about 1 billion YouTube videos on the topic, but not many of them are retired people that tell you how to do it. I suppose there's a few out there. That's one thing I've found in software development, creating products, and on YouTube, that there's no unique idea. There's always somebody that's done what you're thinking about doing. One other topic I want to bring up, it's not really about YouTube, but it's about the laser engraver. And I need to be completely transparent here, is that I did make a decision on a laser engraver, a X-Tool P2S. And the reason there's been a delay really is twofold. One, I've been waiting for a sale, and now they seem to have a sale out, and I don't know if it's a good sale or not. But at the same time, I reached out to them to see if they'd be interested in not sponsoring, but loaning, giving. But for me, it'd be more loaning me a laser to help show how retired people can get into doing laser engraving. And there's a lot of YouTube videos out there on the X-Tool stuff, the ecosystem. They have all kinds of tools, not just laser engravers. But I thought it'd be kind of neat to come at it from the perspective of retired people and picking up a new hobby. And so my videos wouldn't be really heavily focused on education and learning how to use the X-Tool. There'd probably be a little bit of that, the X-Tool engraver. There'd be a little bit of that, but it'd be probably mostly on my experiences. So, when I get it, the unboxing experience, a little bit. I won't get into, here's what was in this box and that kind of thing, but just how hard it was to set up and get going. And then, my first project, I think that'd be fun to show. I haven't seen a lot of that. The ones I've been watching, they kind of go over the features. I'm sure there's lots of content out there on that I just haven't been searching for it properly, but I thought it'd be nice to share that with retired people and, maybe show Kix Crafts type content where I'm making the wood stuff on the CNC and then bringing it over to the laser and showing how I'm engraving it over there, whether it be the whiskey smokers or other stuff that I've been thinking about doing. Like I want to make travel cribbage boards that are part leather, part wood. I think that would be pretty cool. It's not an original idea, but it'd be fun to do a video on how I did that. Again, not trying to give you all the steps, 1 through whatever number it ends up being, on exactly how to do it, but at least demystifying it. And that's kind of really what hopefully I do for people that watch this, that are retired, that are looking for something to do, is give them ideas, let them explore things that they otherwise, didn't really necessarily think about. They probably could have YouTubed it, but if they don't think about it. And then 2, I would say, talk to them or show them, demonstrate to them what the learning curve is to get into it. And like I mentioned before on a different video, the Bamboo Lab 3D printer, I was printing within, whenever the calibration was done. What is that, 15 minutes, 5 minutes? I don't remember, but it was super quick. And the CNC, totally different story. There's a big learning curve there. They're not the same thing. They are, CNC machines, because all 3 of these are CNCs, computer numerically controlled. That means the computer's controlling the device. In the case of a CNC, it's a router moving around 3 axes, or 4 if you have the rotating. A laser moves the laser around either with mirrors and and gantries, and the 3D printer obviously moves the same way a CNC does. A CNC router does, but instead of having a router on the end, it extrudes melted plastic, like a hot melt glue gun, but controlled by a computer. And all 3 of those share a commonality where you actually have to program. And that scares a lot of people. And it's really not programming. I mean, I got asked in church yesterday where I find all my 3D models. And I'm like, if I build them. And I have yet to get into actually making my own model, where you actually get into 3D modeling. And I just haven't had a need. There's Maker World, Printables. I don't even remember all the different websites. zillions of them. And I bet you the same thing is true with laser engravers. I know it's true for CNC. They're on the CNC router. When I say CNC, there I actually mean the CNC router. I'm not going to wait on Xtool to get back to me. I sure wish they would, at least say no. That's something that's always bugs the crap out of me, is when people don't answer emails. Now granted, maybe I didn't use the right email address, I don't know. But I am moving forward anyways. Now when, that's a good question. They're on sale now, but I'm going on a trip this week, and then I'm back for 3, and then I'm gone again. And so, I don't know. I might wait till I get back from, or order it while I'm on my trip, and hopefully have it show up right after I get back from being out west. And then by then we're starting to get into fall, and then it's good shop time, because we've had a real heat wave I mentioned in my last video here in Minnesota. And even though I have a dehumidifier in my shop, I don't have AC right now. And it's not too warm to be sitting at a computer in there, but it is too warm to be doing anything of physical activity in there. You know, like 85 degrees, and humidities, I'm able to keep it down pretty good, but not enough. So, but by the time I get back from out west, it'll be a lot easier. So, laser engraving, and then I was going to talk about other upcoming content and retirement topics and all that kind of stuff, but I think I'll wait for maybe next Wednesday's video before I get into that. I don't even remember what the topic was for next Wednesday. But I think I'll cut right now over back to me in the truck when I was unaware that I had lost a big chunk and was basically saying goodbye. But I'm going to let you guys go. Like I said, this week, hopefully this video comes out on Wednesday morning. And hopefully I actually can record a video and have one out maybe Sunday late. I don't think I'm going to be able to edit while I'm at Oshkosh. I don't know, maybe. But let me know what you think about this type of content. Like I said, I've been going on a long time. We'll see if there's anybody interested in listening to me ramble. But for now, I would say God bless all of you. And as my grandson likes to say, Curious Kicks out.